What's going on, everyone? My name is Another Radar, and welcome back to the NPL. This is going to be the week 2 video. Last week's didn't have a thumbnail because, one, I didn't get a chance to have anybody make it for me. I'm going to hopefully have that happen this week, but I can't make any promises. Realistically, this is just an extra upload for you guys to see like what I'm doing on the side, like any heat that I decide to bring, like fun tactics that I come up with in team building. That's pretty much what this is for. But either way, we're going up against Davian in his Vegas Golden DNites. Big thing to keep in mind is with his team is that he has a lot of threats. He has like a Mega Lottie, he has a Manaphy, he has a Scizor, he has a Cloyster. He has a lot of things that can set up very, very easily and can proceed to sweep a team. Realistically, it's not difficult for them to sweep. So I had to build my team in a way that would prevent him from sweeping me, and I wanted to try to set up and sweep him before he could sweep me. That was the entire plan, and that's pretty much everything I went around. I don't believe that he's able to bring a Banded Scizor this game, which is really important for my strategy. I don't believe that he was able to bring like Z Rain Dance Tailglow Manaphy, because he needs more than just Scald plus another move to be able to beat my entire team. Also, if you guys don't know my team, this is my team. I actually didn't upload a draft analysis, I realized, but it's whatever. This is my entire team. Like, he needs Scald plus something else to hit Ferrothorn, and in the rain, it can't be hidden Power Fire. So, like, I can EV this to live a +6 HP Fire in the rain with an Akaberry and just hit him with a Power Whip and beat him. So I also could have Seismitoad with Swift Swim to outspeed him in the rain if I really wanted to. So I definitely don't think that Z Rain Dance Manaphy is coming, but I did prep for it just in case. Another big thing to keep in mind with this matchup that I was looking at is if you look at his team, he doesn't have a single Dark type. He doesn't have a single Dark type, meaning that I could, in theory, use my Gothitelle to trap something, set up, and just sweep him with a special attacker. The one thing that's stopping that is Mega Latios. So, I kind of sort of wanted to build a team around that idea of having a process of trapping something early on, setting up to +6 on it, and then proceeding to break down the vast majority of his team early on in the game. So let's just go ahead and hop into the team builder. So as I said, I wanted to trap something with my Gothitelle. It was the easiest thing in the entire world for me to come up with. Just Calm Mind, Rest, Sleep Talk, and I put Shadow Ball in there over Psychic or Psyshock because I know that I will be able to trap his Donphan. His only Stealth Rocker, I believe, is Donphan. Yep, his only Stealth Rocker is Donphan, meaning he can lead off with that, and I'm able to like weaken it with another member of my team and then bring this thing in, and I can set up all over it. And as long as I don't get really unlucky with Sleep Talks and I get Shadow Balls, I can set up to +6 on it very, very easily, and I can proceed to break down his entire team. The big stop to this would be Banded Scizor, but as I said, I don't expect Banded Scizor to come literally at all. I think it is one of the few mons that I don't think he needs. Like, he could just be bulky, because it's like Banded is pretty much hard stopped by Kofag, can't do much to Seismitoad, and it allows me to bring in something like, it allows me to bring in like my Infernape almost freely every single time. And if you look at his team, he doesn't have the best to switch into Infernape, only Mega Latios, and even then I can U-turn to hit that thing pretty hard. So I feel as though his ways of beating this aren't very good, but that's just how I felt. So I'm actually going to skip over here to this. So this Pokemon I actually had, because I can Magic Coat away Donphan's Stealth Rocks, he can Rapid Spin on me, I can Will-O-Wisp him, then I can go right into my Gothitelle, and I can proceed to set up and win. With Will-O-Wisp, his Earthquakes are doing no more than 25% to me, so I can always set up on them. Like, he has to be like banded to do a lot of damage to me whenever I'm set up. So very good lead option. I love Hex on Kofag. I love just statusing something and then hitting it with a massive 130 base offensive move. It's so strong. So So yeah, really, really good Pokemon to lead off with, because his only Stealth Rocker, as I said, is Donphan, and I can take advantage of that. I did want to bring Life Orbed Infernape with Vacuum Wave, U-Turn, Flare Blitz, Close Combat. His team doesn't really have the best switch-ins to it, and I wanted to be able to have Vacuum Wave for Cloyster to ensure that it can never set up and just outright sweep me. If I get this thing in on something like Comfey, I can spam Flare Blitz. If he brings in Manaphy, I click Close Combat. If he brings in literally anything, it's going to take a bunch of damage from this Pokemon. The only exception would be Mega Lottie, but I have the best Mega Lottie in the check-in theory in Mega T-Tar. Mega T-Tar in itself can win this game with Dragon Dance 3 attacks, but if I really am scared of Mega Lottie, I can actually go really, really fat and go like Rock Polish 3 attacks, but I wanted to get the attack boost because the attack boost means that I can actually beat almost everything on his entire team. I can one-shot it. It's unbelievably powerful. So, DD3 attacks Mega T-Tar was coming. True Scarf Heliolisk, another very obvious option in order to help check Z Rain Dance Manaphy with U-Turn. U-Turn because I didn't want him to bring in Jolteon on this thing and have it be like an AV Jolteon and hard wall me. So like I go for a Volt Switch, he gets Volt Absorb, gets health back, and then I have to basically pick a sack. I can go into my Mega T-Tar, but I don't really want to use that early game, especially if he still has Scizor around. So that was that. Then Seismitoad, just the standard bulk to get up rocks, enough bulk to live. I believe it's a banded Sacred Fire into a Life Orbed HP Grass from Entei. I know he can't be banded and Life Orbed, but it's just the fact that I can take those hits. So I can take like Life Orb, Sacred Fire, Burn into HP Grass. That's what I was going for. Yeah, really, really, really cool team. I'm really happy the way it turned out, and we can go ahead and actually just hop right over into the battle. So, realistically, the 6 that he brought are the 6 best versus my entire team. Like, if you look at his draft, nothing else should have come. Like, top 5 plus Entei. Serena didn't want to come. I have Infernape plus Naganadel. Comfey didn't want to come. I have Naganadel. Closer didn't want to come. I have Infernape with priority. Conk could have come, but then I can just trap it with my Goth, and I can set up on it. And Weezing didn't want to come because I have Goth. So, like, the 6 that he brought are the absolute best 6 against me, 100%. But just looking at it, it's like banded, maybe AV to just like scarfed in order to help out with certain setup threats, and then like Z Tail Glow, like Tail Glow Z move maybe, and then of course lead rocks. I really think that this is going to be an Akaberry set to be able to take like Fire Punch, Flare Blitz, HP Fires, a bunch of different things, and then of course just standard Mega Lottie. I feel like it's going to be mixed 3 attacks with Roost. So as I said, my whole entire game plan revolves around me leading off with Kofag, and then Will-O-Wisping his Donphan to break the Sturdy as he to be able to make sure that this can take rocks. So I have Magic Coat on this thing. In the game, I couldn't remember if Magic Coat was priority or not. I still don't remember, nor do I really care. But it was a good idea in theory. Is it priority? I don't think it is. So either way, so I decided to go for the Will-O-Wisp right away because what it does is it allows me to just go right into my original game plan of getting in my Gothitelle, and I do land the Will-O-Wisp, which is really, really nice. So Gothitelle comes in, I get knocked off, which kind of sort of sucks, but I did expect it, and now he's getting wisped, and I can proceed to Calm Mind. As you can see, his Earthquake is doing 17%. I could, in theory, set up another Calm Mind on this thing, but I didn't want to get crit before I rested, so I just clicked rest right here. He's gonna click Earthquake again. This is exactly how I planned everything out. This is what I was hoping for. He's not switching out. Unfortunately, I get really unlucky with my first Sleep Talk, and I get Shadow Ball. That really sucks because that put him in range of what you're about to see next, which is his burn damage, putting him into his Aya Papa Berry range. If I got like Rest or Calm Mind or literally anything, I'd be at +3. He would still be like at a good amount of health. He'd be at a decent amount, and I would be able to sleep talk, maybe then get a shadow ball, put him in Eye of Papa Berry range, rest up. Like, I'd be able to basically just set up more on this thing, but as you're going to see, it doesn't really come into mattering that much. So I go for Sleep Talk again, and I get a fucking crit Shadow Ball. I didn't want that crit, bro. I didn't want Shadow Ball at all. I wanted Calm Mind. The reason why I wanted Calm Mind is because next turn, if, let's say, I got Calm Mind there, woke up, clicked Rest, I'm actually out of range of Banded Scissor's U-turn, which, as you're going to see right now, he cannot kill me with a U-turn unless he is banded. There's literally no way possible. And as you're going to see, I wake up, I outspeed him, showing me that he has no speed investment at all, because I have 12 invested in this thing, and they're the exact same speed. And literally, he's like max HP, max attack, adamant, banded, and kills me. If I hadn't gotten unlucky with Sleep Talk rolls, I would have been able to live that, which would have been nice. But either way, it didn't really change the impact of the game, because no matter what, his play every single time was to go into Scizor, click Banded U-turn against me, do a shit ton of damage to me, and then go into literally anything because it outspeeds me and I can't rest up on it. So ultimately it didn't play that big of an impact, but it's still just a little frustrating. So here I go into my Heliolisk, and then the reason why I went into Heliolisk is because at this point I feel as though Hyper Voice is pretty spammable versus his entire team. But I expected him to actually go into his Lottie here, because like, why would he let this thing take so much damage with Hyper Voice being a thing when he can go into this thing and it doesn't two-shot him because I don't have rocks up? That's even with the Naive nature. It doesn't two-shot him, so. But I really expected him to switch into Lottie there. I don't know why he didn't, personally, but here he's going to go into Entei, and I don't want to stay in here because Banded Sacred Fire just destroys me. So here he's going to go for the Sacred Fire. It is going to do 23%, showing me that he is actually not banded, which means he is scarfed, I'm assuming at this point, which, you know, is a good bring, but I would rather switch into a scarfed Entei than a banded Entei anytime. And here I am going to decide to just get at my Stealth Rocks. My Stealth Rocks are going to be pretty important, getting 25% off on Entei, getting 12% off on this, 12% off on this, putting it in range of 2 Hyper Voices, and putting this in range of 2 Dark Pulses. So I'm just going to get on my rocks here, and as you're going to see, he's going to stay in here on this next turn, and he's going to go for Psychic as I click Toxic. Energy Ball killed me 100% there. I got Toxic off on this thing, which means that it is so much easier to handle, which is amazing. So here, now he's going to drop out the Energy Ball. I don't know what he was predicting there. Like, he might have been predicting me to go hard into Infernape, but that if he had clicked Scald there, like forgetting about Water Absorb, if he had clicked Psychic there, if he had clicked like Z Rain Dance, that was the dumbest play that I could have ever made in my entire life. And plus, my Infernape can't do anything to this bitch. It cannot one-shot it from the range it's at. So, me staying in there and trying to get the Toxic off was literally my only play. So here I'm going to go into my Kofag because he's not boosted. I can tank any 2 attacks from this thing, and I can either get a Hex off, or I can get up a Toxic Spike to wear down these 2 and not these 3. Ultimately, I actually decide that a Hex is more important because this damage would show to me exactly like what he is. I haven't seen lefties. I haven't seen a Z Crystal. I haven't seen anything. And this damage confirms that he's actually AV, which is really important because it means that I can actually set up a little bit freely with it and with my T-Tar as long as he doesn't get Scald Burns. So that's pretty cool. So right here, I'm going to make the switch out. I'm going to go into my Heliolisk, and he makes a great read and goes for the Energy Ball, and that's going to put me in range to where I'm no longer able to switch into Stealth Rocks. So now I have to stay in. I'm just going to spam Hyper Voice at this point. Scissor's going to come in, and it's going to revenge kill me. I know that for a fact. However, if he, for some reason, didn't click Bullet Punch, I was able to get off a good amount of damage. Now here, him staying in here is a choke. His one check to my Dragon Dance Mega T-Tar is this Pokemon right here. His one freaking check is this. Also, that Volt Switch damage from this thing earlier proved it to be Specs. I don't know if I already said that. So, he's not going to stay in here. I can click U-turn. His only switch into this, realistically, is Lottie. So, if I click U-turn here, I will get a Life Orb U-turn off. I can go directly to my T-Tar. I can set up once, and then I can try to break down his team for this thing to clean up late game. That's my goal right here. However, my opponent makes a very questionable play here and stays in and just goes for Bullet Punch. If I clicked Flare Blitz there, after that, he just lost to Mega T-Tar. So, I now know he's willing to play this Scizor like he doesn't care about it. I'm taking this thing out and I'm going to win with Mega T-Tar right here. I know exactly how I'm going to win. He goes for Adamant Banded Technician Bullet Punch. I click Hex once and it does like 24%. I get lefties back. I don't die to the next Bullet Punch and I'm able to take out his Scizor. He now loses to Mega T-Tar. If he went into Entei here, I would have to bank on him not getting the Sacred Fire burn. But even with the burn, I think I could still clean up with my Mega T-Tar at this range. So right here, he's going to go into his Jolteon. He's going to click Thunderbolt, and that right there is GG for him. I get to go to my Mega T-Tar. I can tank two Specs Thunderbolts from this Pokemon. And as you're going to see, since I can tank two of them, this thing, if it is Scarfed, I will outspeed it, and I will be able to outspeed the rest of his Pokemon. And I can get up 2 free Dragon Dances almost free. I'm losing a good amount of health, but I'm at 22%. I get up 2 Dragon Dances, and that is GG. I click Crunch 3 times, and that is game. Him letting his Scizor go that early was a big misplay on his end. I usually hate it whenever people tell me my misplays, but the second that I saw that thing go down, I knew exactly how I was winning this game. I knew that I was going to just set up with my Mega T-Tar and I was going to win. So that is a 2-0 victory. We are now 1-1 plus 2. Very, very, very good game against Davian. I hadn't ever played him before, so this was a really fun experience. He made some plays that really caught me off guard. Like, he even made some brings that caught me off guard, like Adamant Banded Scizor, Specs Jolteon, Scarfed Entei, AV Manaphy. Like, very, very, very interesting sets that I didn't expect to come at all. So, really, 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 really cool prep on his end. The only thing that I can say I didn't like about this game was the really bad sleep talk rolls with Shadow Ball, but it is what it is. Either way, very good game to my buddy Davian. Thank you very much for playing. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like down below for me. Also, make sure you go check out my opponent. His links will be down in the description below, and I will do my best to get a thumbnail up for this week. But with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.